what is submission? How would you define submission? Submission means to line up under the authority of Christ. The word, by the way, submit in the Greek texture is the word line up. Under, line up under. You know, by the way, you'll be interested in this. Do you know that there are 4 illustrations of that in the scriptures? I don't have time to get into that today, but it helps us to understand. It helps us to understand what it's all about. God uses these different things. The first one he uses is that of a soldier. Those of you that have undergone military training, you'll understand that. We're going to have a great Veterans Day coming up. We're going to be honoring all our veterans, and it's just such a special time. Yesterday I was a group of wonderful people, and I was praying with a new friend by the name of Danny. And he comes from Black Mountain and goes to church in Mars Hill, and just a precious brother. And Danny was sharing with me and my wife yesterday that he's got a nephew who's going off to Afghanistan for the 2nd tour of duty. And as I prayed, I said, Lord, thank you for these men and women, for what they do. Let me tell you something. You don't have to go to a military person and talk to them about what it means to line up under. Submit. God also uses that. You know, when Jesus was born, you know that he had parents. Their names were Mary and Joseph. And we find that little word submit many times. This is Jesus, who is God. He submitted to his parents. Lined up under them. Young people, the greatest counsel I can give to you is to submit to your parents. God will bless you. Don't ever set yourself higher in opinion and attitude than your mother and father. And I'm talking about till the day you die. If you think you've got so advanced in years and so independent that you no longer pay any attention to your mom and dad, you're a very foolish person. He uses it there. He also uses it with government. Oh, we don't like that. But God tells us to submit to those who are in governmental authority, the law of the land. What he's saying to me as a citizen, it doesn't matter whether I approve or don't approve, or whether my man or not my man is the one who is in control of my state or my town or my country. I have a responsibility before God to submit to the authority of the land. And then he uses in a 4th way, he talks about the church, and he says we need to submit to one another. See, you want to define what the church ought to look like. The church ought to look like one massive mutual submission. You know, I tell people when I marry them, you're going to love this. I'm going to say, you want the golden rule of marriage, how to make your marriage work. Submit to one another constantly. He comes first, she comes first. She comes first, he comes first. A marriage in which the husband and wife are constantly trying to out-first one another is a marriage made in heaven. No, sweetheart, you do it. And what I do is I say, look, if there's one muffin on the table, I guarantee it works. Just try this, guys. It works. It's a golden rule. It's God's law. I don't understand it. There's one muffin on the table, and they come, and your wife jolly well knows that you are starving to death. And she knows you need to eat everything, including the kitchen sink. You want to, and there's only one muffin, and your wife is there with you. Turn to her and say, sweetheart, you have it. You first. What happens many times is she will take that and perhaps take a little bite out of the side. I don't know what it is. She'll suddenly take a little bite and she'll turn. She'll say, no, honey, I want you to have the rest of this. You go to the trouble of opening that car door for her. It's just a golden... When there's this outfirsting each other, The problem in your marriage today is you're coming first, right? Well, when you put this into a biblical perspective here, that's what he's talking about.